Thank you, Suzanne, and thank you, everybody who is here tonight. You're in a very blessed place. You know, this doesn't happen everywhere on every block. And it is a gathering of people who make a difference by being here. I mean, I felt it. I have felt it. I have been a part of this community, not always here in person, but always with the thought of what you all do and what a difference it makes in the world. I want to just say that Jim, I'd call him Jim, was a very close friend, and I was blessed to have him in my life when my son took his life in 1992. I spent many hours in Jim's office at St. John the Divine's, weeping and recovering and sharing and being helped through that dark, dark place. We all have a dark place. Everybody has something. And that's why it's a bonding that does it, that does the healing. In those years, of course, I've been with my husband, Louis, for 46 years. Actually, we got married when we'd been together for 18 years because we wanted to be sure it was working. And Jim Morton told us that it obviously was working, and from all that he could see, and he said, yes, sounds like a good idea. So Louis and I went for some moments of intimate discussion with him, and then he married us at St. John the Divine's, which is something that I treasure. And the fact that I am a New Yorker, I love being a New Yorker. Don't you? I mean, I've known Ruth Messenger for many years, and I adore her. And I adore her. We're having dinner with her husband and herself, and they are important people in my life, and I was moved by what they talked about at dinner recently about the immigration movement that's going on here. And I learned a lot of things that I didn't know because I was troubled by the idea that there was some sort of problem. She said, there isn't any problem. Everybody wants to be kind and embracing, and the city works very hard at making the immigrants comfortable. And it's only the barrier of some of the legal things that doesn't get everything that we would want. But her stories about this were touching and were exciting, and they motivated me and made me think twice about all of this. I've always, I was one of the first people to record Deportees. The props are all in and the peaches are running. Maybe you remember it. The oranges are piled in their creosote dumps. They're flying them back to the Mexican border. It takes all their money to wade back again. Goodbye to my Juan, goodbye Rosalita, adios mis amigos, Jesus y Maria. You won't have a name when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportees. I heard that in a little... Thank you. Thank you. I heard that in a mountain folk music gathering in Colorado when I was probably 16. and a guy named Mart Hoffman was singing that song. He and I became friends, and I didn't know for another 45 years, I guess, that he had written the melody. Woody didn't always write his melodies. Well, he wrote, going for a ride in the car, going for a ride in the car. Click, clack, open the back door, click, clack, open the front. But he didn't write the Deportees melody. It was Mart Hoffman. And all of those years, I was blessed with becoming a member of what one of my brothers used to call the great folk music scare. And when I fell victim to the folk music scare, I was 16. Well, I grew up in an incredible and sort of miraculous family. My father was a great singer, performer. He had a radio show for 6 or 30 years, and he would charm us all by waking us up every day, all 5 of us and my mother, with grab your coat and get your hat, leave your worries on the doorstep, just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. And he also loved to tell Mae West stories on the radio. Mae West, who said things like, restraint is fine if it doesn't go too far. And as she said, too much of a good thing can be wonderful. And one day a friend of hers came to see her show, and she came back afterwards and to tell her how wonderful she was. And she appeared in a gorgeous mink coat, and Mae said, "Oh, my darling, that is so gorgeous. Where did you get that?" And Mae said, "Why, darling, I met a man with $10,000. Speaking of money numbers. Yeah, times 5. And the next time they met, it was Mae West, who was dressed in this glorious outfit. And her friend said, "Why, Mae, where did you get that? Did you meet a man with $10,000? And Mae said, "No, darling. I met 10,000 men with $1." I was lucky enough to fall into this wonderful community of singers, songwriters, and so on. And of course, when I moved to New York, I walked into my manager's office, 250 West 57th, and that was 1961, and lying behind the couch was a tall man, sound asleep, with a banjo stretched out beside him. And I said to Harold Leventhal, "Could that be Pete Seeger?" And he said, "Oh, yes, that's Pete Seeger, and please don't wake him up." He's got to get to 3 states in the next day and a half, and I have to get him there and get him back. And I spent a lot of time with Pete Seeger. I wanted to tell you that I was lucky enough to meet my husband in well, I'll call you tonight when I remember. No, I know what it was. It was 1978. And I met him, and we fell in love, and we're still together. And I wanted to tell you that Louis is he's right over there. Handsome, handsome devil that he is. And Louis is an artist and a designer, and he designed a lot of wonderful things, including the Korean Memorial on the Mall in Washington, D.C. And it's exciting. Congratulations, Louis. So my history, well, you saw some of it in those pictures. I wish where if I knew where those clothes were. I can't find them anywhere. Maybe somebody is enjoying that wonderful shirt that I was wearing. And I want to thank my friend Suzanne Vega. She's a wonderful artist, and she has been a friend for a long time. And I did apologize to her for not answering that letter that she wrote me. And I apologize every time I see her, as a matter of fact. And it is a pleasure and a privilege to have fallen into this folk community that I have belonged to. I don't know whether I'm a folk singer, by the way. I sing a lot of different kinds of songs. But lately I've been singing in concerts, where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls have picked them, every one. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? That was very good. You did a very nice job. I wanted to tell you what happened to me at the beginning of the pandemic. One of my friends called me up. It was the 2020 in March, and we were all prepared to lock down and stay put. And I got a call from this friend of mine who said to me, I've got a problem. And I said, you do? Doesn't everybody? Or aren't you part of the group that's having problems? He said, well, I don't know. My problem is I can't stop smoking. And I said, do you want to? And he said, no. So I said, well, if you really want to, you should go see my friend, my doctor, Dr. Abrun, because he has a lot of secrets about things like this, and he's very non-judgmental. He's a kind man, and he's very good at what he does. So Jim went to see Dr. Abrun, and Dr. Abrun said to him, Judy says that you don't want to smoke anymore, you want to stop. And he said, oh, no, that's not true. He said, well, if you do want to stop, you have to think about this, because when anybody, me or you or anybody else, takes a cigarette into our bodies, God takes an hour of your life and gives it to Keith Richards. I wish that I knew who told me that joke. I would give a lot. Rose and clothes of angel hair, and ice cream castles in the air, I'm choked up from this night. Feathered canyons everywhere, I've looked at clouds that way, and now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.